Maid was fired for wearing her madam's earrings. Then her DNA test revealed the truth. The mansion of Chief and Madam Adesua stood proudly at the edge of Lekki, its glass windows gleaming in the morning sun. Inside, everything sparkled, except for the people who lived in it. Amaka had worked there for 2 years. She was 27, quiet, respectful, and hard-working. Every morning, before dawn, she swept the marble floors, polished the chandeliers, and ensured Madam's wardrobe was arranged exactly as she liked, from the silk scarves to the smallest gold earrings. Amaka never complained. Her salary wasn't much, but it was enough to send money to her sick mother in Enugu. She often hummed softly while she worked, a habit that irritated Madam Adesua. "Amaka," Madam's sharp voice rang through the corridor one Saturday morning, "where are my diamond earrings?" Amaka froze. She was ironing the Chief's shirts. "Ma? My earrings? The ones Chief bought from Dubai last year. They're not in my box." Amaka's heart pounded. She knew exactly where those earrings were kept, in a red velvet box, 3rd drawer from the top. She had dusted around them just yesterday. "Madam, I saw them yesterday morning, Ma," Amaka said carefully. "Then why are they not there now?" Madam snapped, storming into the room. "You're the only one who touches my things." Chief Adesua appeared behind his wife, adjusting his agbada. "What's all this shouting about again, Adesua?" "Your maid has stolen my earrings," Amaka gasped. "Madam, I swear I didn't—" "Enough," Madam's eyes flashed. "You think I don't see how you look at my jewelry? You think I'm stupid?" The chief sighed, rubbing his forehead. "Adesua, maybe she misplaced them." "Misplaced? Those earrings cost 3 million naira, Chief." Madam turned to Amaka. "Bring your bag." Now Amaka's hands trembled as she opened her small suitcase under the bed. Inside were her few clothes, a photo of her mother, and a small Bible. Madam dug through the bag herself, and there, at the very bottom, gleamed the missing earrings. Amaka's world stopped. "No, no, Ma, I don't know how. I didn't put them there," she cried, her knees giving way. Madam's face hardened. "You thief! I trusted you." Tears streamed down Amaka's cheeks. "Madam, please! Someone must have— Get out of my house before I call the police." Chief Adesua tried to calm his wife, but she was furious. The guards dragged Amaka outside, her suitcase spilling onto the driveway. The neighbors watched as she begged for one last chance, but Madam only hissed, "Never show your face here again." A month later, Amaka's life crumbled. No one wanted to hire a maid accused of theft. Her mother's health worsened, and the hospital bills piled up. She sold her phone to buy food and walked for miles every day, searching for work. One rainy evening, weak from hunger, she fainted near a small roadside kiosk. When she opened her eyes, an old woman was kneeling beside her. "My child, are you okay?" Amaka nodded weakly. The woman, Mama Ngozi, gave her food and water. After hearing her story, Mama Ngozi sighed deeply. "Sometimes," she said, "God allows disgrace to expose a deeper truth." Amaka didn't understand what she meant. Meanwhile, in Lekki Mansion, Chief Adesua sat in his study, staring at an old photo, his late mother holding a baby. He sighed. "Adesua, do you ever wonder what happened to my sister's child? The one that got lost during the fire 27 years ago?" Madam frowned. "Why are you suddenly talking about that again?" Chief shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe because of that girl. Amaka. She reminded me of someone. Please don't start this sentimental nonsense," Madam snapped. "That girl was a thief." Period. But something about Chief's tone made her uneasy. 3 months later, a new maid, Ngozi Jr., had taken Amaka's place. One afternoon, while cleaning the master bedroom, she noticed something odd. The velvet box where the diamond earrings were kept was empty again. She called out nervously, "Madam, the earrings are missing again." Madam's face drained of color. "What did you just say?" They tore through the room, but the earrings were nowhere to be found. Chief walked in, his expression grave. "Adesua," he said slowly, "remember when I told you something didn't add up?" Madam glared at him. "What are you implying?" "Let's just say," he replied, "the truth always finds a way out." That night, Madam couldn't sleep. Her conscience pricked her. What if she had truly wronged that girl? One Sunday, Chief attended a charity event in Surulere. The foundation offered free health checkups and DNA testing for family tracing, especially for people who'd lost relatives during the 1998 Lagos fire disaster. He wasn't planning to participate until he saw someone serving food to the guests, a young woman with tired eyes and a familiar face. It was Amaka. Amaka. She froze, the tray shaking in her hands. "Sir," she whispered, unsure whether to bow or run. "Please sit," he said softly. "I need to talk to you." He listened as she explained everything that had happened after she left their home. Her mother's illness, the rejections, and how she'd been surviving through small catering jobs. Chief's eyes softened. "My child, I owe you an apology. I should have believed you." Tears welled in her eyes. "Sir, I didn't steal those earrings." "I swear I know," he said quietly, "and I'll prove it." He convinced her to take a DNA test under the pretext of checking her health status. What she didn't know was that Chief secretly compared her DNA with his own, and with the record of his missing sister's child. 2 weeks later, the results arrived. 99.9% match. Paternal relation confirmed. Chief's hands trembled. Oh my God. He rushed home, the envelope still in his shaking grip. "Adesua," he shouted as he burst through the door. Madam looked up from her tablet startled. "What is it?" He threw the test results on the table. "Read it." She scanned the paper, her face twisting in disbelief. "This can't be real." "It's real," Chief said firmly. "Amaka, the maid you humiliated, is my sister's daughter." My blood Madame stood speechless, color draining from her face. "And the earrings you accused her of stealing," Chief continued, voice heavy with emotion. "Your niece took them." Madam gasped. "Kioma?" "Yes, your daughter. She confessed last night when I questioned her about her sudden shopping money. She said she hid the earrings in Amaka's bag so you'd stop comparing her to the perfect maid." Madam sank to her knees. "Oh God, you destroyed that girl's life," Chief said, voice trembling with anger and pain. "Our own family." Madam began to weep. "What have I done?" A few days later, a black SUV pulled up in front of the small compound where Amaka lived. She was washing clothes when the door opened and Chief Adesua stepped out, followed by Madam and their daughter Kioma. Amaka froze, soap dripping from her hands. "Sir, she stammered. Chief smiled gently. "My child, I came to take you home." "Home?" she repeated in disbelief. Madam stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Amaka, I owe you more than an apology. I wronged you terribly. The truth is, your family." Amaka stared at them, confused. "Family?" Chief handed her the DNA report. As she read it, her eyes widened, tears spilling freely. "You're my niece," he said softly, "the daughter of my late sister Ifeoma. We lost you during the fire years ago. Someone must have found and raised you." Amaka covered her mouth, sobbing. Mama Ngozi, who had been standing nearby, smiled faintly. "I told you, my child. Sometimes disgrace leads to discovery." 1 year later, the Adesua mansion looked different. Warmer, brighter, more alive. Amaka now worked there again, but this time not as a maid, as Chief's personal assistant and heir to his late sister's estate. She had enrolled in university to study business administration. Madame Adesua, humbled by guilt and gratitude, treated her like her own daughter. Kioma, too, had changed. She apologized, even volunteered alongside Amaka at charity events. During one of those events, a journalist asked Amaka, "How did you forgive them after everything?" Amaka smiled gently, "Because forgiveness heals more than anger ever could. And family, no matter how broken, deserves a second chance." Years later, when Chief passed away, he left a handwritten letter among his documents. It read, "To my dearest Amaka, you were once accused, rejected, and disgraced. But God saw your heart. Never let bitterness dim your light. You are proof that truth, though delayed, can never be destroyed." Amaka folded the letter, tears in her eyes. She looked around the house. The same marble floors she once scrubbed as a maid now glistened under her command. And there, on a velvet stand in the living room, rested the very same diamond earrings, now framed in glass, with a small plaque beneath that read, "A symbol of truth and of the family it reunited." Moral of the story: never judge others by their status. Sometimes the people we look down upon are the very ones who carry our blood, our blessings, and our redemption.